Welcome back. You are listening to Right on Cue Radio, and this is the Dream with Reem show. I am back, and we've got Sara still here on the line. We were talking with Clint and getting a lot of the master healer secrets from him. Sara is a very dear friend of mine, and she's also taking the 100-day master healer class with me. And she actually has this fuel program. And as I mentioned earlier, when I was taking her course during the period of her fuel program, she helped me generate $20,000 in sales over the course of her course. So she's got a lot of tips and tricks for happiness and wealth, and she's really into nutrition. And now that we've been doing the 100-day class, actually, since I've been here with her in Texas, we've been in the kitchen. And I'm like, oh, let's eat that and let's do that and let's mix this. And we're just really tapping into all of the secrets and stuff that we know. So I would love for Sara to share with us some of her information. And this is a two-parter with her. We will get to have her next week because I will still be here in Texas. And so, Sara.
So much celebration. I'm so excited to see Reem's dream unfold. If you get a few minutes with Reem alone, or she does a Q&A, you have to call in. It's almost the cancel clear. Thank you, Gabrielle, for this term. But you'll get on the phone with Reem and she'll just, do you want the truth? Or do you want me to sugarcoat it? And you say, I want the truth. And she'll just rock your world. And then anytime you have a problem, she's like, well, here's 10 different solutions. Like, she just sees it from a different perspective. And it's really powerful to shift your paradigm. Like, that's what she's doing here. And I'm really grateful that she's allowing me to be here and be on this space, and that she's doing Clint's work with me. That's magical. How she described it is a little bit different than how it's probably going in the kitchen. I'm like, girl, you're not supposed to be having that. And she's like, oh, girl, you're not supposed to be eating this. And I'm like, damn it, don't watch me. It's a little bit more how this is going. So we're both high vata. If you know anything about Ayurvedic and your different doshas, which means we both know what we should be eating and shouldn't be eating, and her in the kitchen knows what I'm doing I should be doing. So it's great holding each other accountable. And she's actually beat me on, there's a mung bean cleanse that you can do. Have you already given this to everyone?
They could find that information, yes, on my Facebook, which is the Dream with Reem. And yeah, we've got the mung bean recipe. We've also got the Amrapali's home remedy. A lot of great stuff on that website. But yeah, the mung bean cleanse, the 30-day one, that was a killer.
It's really tough. I haven't yet fully made it to 30 days, so I'm not going to act like I have. I have been eating mung beans straight for months, but I'm like 80% mung beans, and then the rest is some dark chocolate. I just can't give that chocolate up. I love the chocolate, but I feel so much better since doing Dr. Naram and Dr. Clint Rogers' work. And I've been working with them for about 2 years. And now they've actually transformed my son's life. He was very hyperactive, and he did the work with Clint. If you didn't already listen to the previous one, and with all natural remedies and switching his diet a little bit, he is a whole nother child. He's going to bed an hour earlier. He is napping right now. This is a kid that does not nap, and he's napping. It's if you have someone in your life that's a bit hyperactive, or for your mom, you really know how much this can debilitate your life and how hard it feels as a mom. So I highly suggest to hop on a call or peek over at Clint's work if you know anybody that's struggling with that issue. Any medical, emotional, physical issue, soul, hop on a call, join a live call on Sunday, and just rock your world. There really, when you're working with and seeing people who are coming in wheelchairs, and you're hearing these stories that you know with all your heart are true, they're crying, their family's crying, and then you watch their transformation, it takes you out of the box that you're stuck in, and that is the door. So I highly challenge and hope that you guys can hop over and be a part of that experience. And everything, like the calls on every Sunday, it's free, and you can really witness some of the transformation. So It's pretty special. And the mung bean itself, even if you just did mung bean and you would watch, I think one of the guys that were recently interviewed, his cholesterol dropped in half in 30 days. It's pretty miraculous.
Mm-hmm.
And the youth remedy that she's talking about, I now have more energy than ever. No more hormonal or hormonal headaches, no cramps, more energy. I feel unlimited source of happiness, even after very little sleep. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And a lot of really great ancient secrets and tips. And as Sara was saying, those Sunday calls, like today's call was about ADHD and autism. And just being with Sara and her son and seeing the transformation that I've seen with them, and just like, I'm not a parent myself, and just the struggles that parents go through, in addition to when there's, I don't want to say a problem, but something that's different. And how the world perceives that, and how these ancient secrets can make it better.
Unlock their healing. It unlocks their healing. Like, we had 3 different moms on today in the call 4 who had very similar or worse issues with their children, and they're cured now. They went from a level 9 to a level 0, like no issues, and all natural. So diet is really important. That's the 6 different types of healing with Siddha Veda, and it's diet, lifestyle, panchakarma, marma, home remedies, and natural remedies that they make in-house. And through that, you essentially can pretty much, I call it the unicorns exist, because you can heal anything you want to heal. And we've been watching it. They're talking about blind people having healings. I mean, Reem and I watched a little boy who was born with some type of meningitis that made him in a wheelchair. And now they have him walking. He's been in a wheelchair his whole life, through these very scientific, specific steps. So it's not woohooey. It's ancient medicine that has a reason for why it works and how they do it. Right. And if you feel better, you make more money, which is the other part of why she has me on.
Yeah. And the whole, knowing what it is that you want, and with you tapping into helping women to generate their, like health, wealth, and knowing what you want kind of all ties together. Because if you're not healthy, you're not really thinking about what you want, because you just don't want to be sick. And when you think about what you don't want, you don't get what you want. You just get more of what you don't want. So
it's very important.
Yeah.
And one of the marvel ways you can do this, that you can't see if you're not watching the video and you're just listening on the radio station, you take your left hand and you're going to place your index pointer finger at the base of your right hand. So the very bottom where your hand ends and your arm starts, you're going to take that little pointer finger and it's going to start right there. And then you're going to flip your hand one time, all 4 fingers, flop it over. And then wherever that 4th finger ends, right in the center, you'll kind of feel like a little zing, a little spot. You're going to press that 6 times all throughout the day. And you're going to visualize what you want. And I just did it with you. I'll be pressing that all day long.
I know.
Keep pressing it, keep pressing it, keep pressing it. And there are other marma points that you can press when you're trying to build immunity, when you want youth. This is the youth, right? So your pointer finger, I know all of y'all like, tell me the youth. On your right finger, the pointer finger, we squeeze it.
Yeah, the very, very tip. Because a little bit further down is also the other, what do you want one?
So very, very tip. Squeeze it 6 times all throughout the day. And the very next finger, the middle finger, is your immunity. You're going to poke it. So the right hand, this would be considered your flip-off finger. And you're going to poke it at the top 6 times to help build your immune system. I wish you guys could see what we're seeing right now. There is 2 squirrels who have dubbed my bird feeder their feeder.
And he just tried to jump and he missed.
Yeah, and they have to crawl up my window, which places their body parts smushed up against it. It's quite the scene instead of birds. So
yeah.
And you can use this practice with pulling in the income you want, the more abundance that you want. So same thing with the what do you want and pressing that. You're actually physically aligning your body to the frequency of what it is you're trying to attract. It's very important that we're really clear with what we want. That's why they're talking about it so much in Veda, because when you don't have the intention set, you're just kind of like the ship that's out there letting the wind take it. If you don't have a hold of your wheel, you're not directing it where to go. The wind's directing you. And so of course you want to co-captain with the universal force and energy, but you want to hold the wheel and you want to know, you want to co-create with the universe what it is you're calling in. So it's really something very important that when I work my girls through, intention, 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 set your alarm. What is your intention every day and every moment as you shift? And I think before, so part 2, I'll give a little bit more of an introduction to my past and some steps you guys can do. So if you're not listening today, or if you tune in next time, you're going to get some tangible tips that you can start doing right now to unlock your wealth and shift your codes. But I think that if you could just start right now, really thinking about where are your thoughts? Where are your thoughts? Because what you believe you're attracting, you're creating that in your life. And just getting aware of those thoughts and not resisting the thoughts, but welcoming the thoughts. If I could leave you with anything, it would be this practice. So from now on, when you feel a feeling coming up for you, fear, let's say it's scarcity. Let's say you're just really afraid of how are you going to make this next payment for something that you need, or, afford the things that you want. Instead of resisting that feeling of scarcity, you're going to say, you're welcome here. Welcome, scarcity. And I don't know if you can do this right now, but close your eyes. And then you put your arms out on the side of your body like you're going to give it a hug. Welcome, scarcity. And I think if you tune into your body, you can feel the difference between resisting, scarcity. It pockets that energy in your body. So right now when you say welcome, scarcity, it's so liberating. You can just feel it move through your body and out. And it takes the wind out of the sails. And now scarcity is no longer controlling your ship. It went through and out, went through and out. Now the next part I want you to do is then affirm what it is you're calling in. So I am a wealthy, attractive, abundant, prosperous human that pulls in large sums of income every day, easily and effortlessly. You can put in anything you want right there, fill it in. And if you feel scarcity again, just keep repeating this until you no longer feel it, and it will come up and you will just welcome it again. Welcome it again. And then the other part of this, I think it's really important, and I'm going to go further into the next talk, is I want you to start paying attention to your intuitive pulls, especially with women. Men have it too. But you were born with an intuition magnet. It's an antenna. And the more that you trust it and you listen into it, now intuition isn't fearful. It isn't constrictive. It isn't tight. It's expansive, even when it's the thing we don't want to hear. So then our mind might attract something on top of that, like, oh, but I really want it. That's your mind. But when you first felt it, it felt expansive. So as you go throughout your week and you feel some expansive intuitive pulls, once you've set the intention for better health, let's say it's better health, we'll shift the gear a little, and you keep thinking about Clint. You keep getting that intuitive pull. That is your sign from your higher self, your highest expression or source, whatever you want to call it, letting you know that there is something waiting for you. You set that intention, and now it's trying to call you to the very thing that you have asked for. And it is up to you to then act on that intuition right then and there. Take massive action. Get on the website and check Clint out. Or if it's money and you have this intuitive pull to call a friend, don't judge it, do it. Because that friend might be like, hey, I have a client for you actually, and I was just thinking about you and I almost got busy. Or maybe you have an intuitive pull, you're a coach and you want to put something on Facebook and you're talking yourself out of it because of perfectionism. But there's a client that's waiting for you that doesn't want perfect. And you didn't do that intuitive pull. You missed a train, right? Doesn't mean that train's not coming back, but it's delayed now. So instead, act on it right there. What if it says go to the grocery store? I cannot tell you how many times that my little heart was like, turn left. And I'm like, left's not home, but I did it and met a best friend. Speaking of which is Reem, sitting right here. I followed my intuitive pull and saw her at a table. And that's it. Now she's Mama Reem and has helped me with my boys. So it's a very much 3-part system of setting your intention and then clearing and affirming and listening and following that intuitive pull. And the more that you do this practice of just welcoming and then affirming what you want, you're going to start to increase your vibrational frequency over time to where you won't even know that other human. Like sometimes I go to that other place of who I used to be for like my toe. I'll dip my toe into it. Like, wow, that is how I used to vibrate. And now when I want to manifest and attract what I want, I do it quickly and easily in the divine feminine way, because I am not in resistance. And I fully know that my power and ability is within myself and source when you come from love. And it's a big shift difference. So I hope that helps.
It definitely helps. And I always tap into Sara when I'm attempting to listen to my intuition. I try to choose my words, and I'm still working on listening to my intuition and being able to actually go with what it tells me to do. But Sara's so good at it. Like whenever we go out, she's like, I think we need to go this way. I was like, well, you're always right. So we're going to listen to your intuition, because mine confuses me.
Reem's, I love my Virgos. Reem and Jackie, who is also here, are very analytical.
Yes.
Which is a very good compliment to my airy fairy. We make a really good partnership. And what a good friend she is for seeing me and being willing to go on those rides of, why are we going left? Okay. We'll go left.
I just know if you say left, we're going to go left.
Such a blessing to be here. And she just mentioned a little something that we'll leave you with is just watch your words too. She's just talking about that, watching what you say with your mouth. It's not just our thoughts, but what you're saying, you're attracting. Somebody just said the other day, the old expression of skinning a cat. And I was like, oh, we say things and we're not really aware of it. Like I was saying to my kids, gosh, I'm always in this kitchen and cooking. And I'm like, wow, I'm really affirming that then. And I'm telling it to the cells of my body. And then I find myself in the kitchen cooking and cleaning when I don't really need to be, or I'm not affirming with them to eat their full dinner at the time that they're eating it. So I'm perpetuating a cycle that I could affirm more. So really watch your words, not just your thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sara, for spending the day with us today, and really excited to have you on next week. Would you like to let everybody know how they can find you?
Yeah, Instagram. I'm just building it. I started a nonprofit 9 years ago. We did, and then a for-profit, and then the coaching practice in July, which is my Dharma. So it's at Sara, SARAD, as in Denise, Morell, MORELL. That's the Instagram. And then in Facebook, we actually have a Fuel program. I've created 2 programs, working on my third, and it's called Fuel, FUEL. Reem's on there too. I do have a YouTube channel that is just kicking off as well, which is Sara D. Morell.
Great.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the places.
Yeah. And we will have her next week. So we'll get a lot more insight and great tips for Sara. You might learn some more things about me, because she knows all the dirty ins and outs of me. We are going to take another quick little break, and I will see you guys back on the other side. You are listening to the Dream with Reem show, and Sara Morell was my guest just now. We will see you guys on the other side.
See you later.